Hi, my name's Kyle. I'm from theruggedstore.com. Today we're going to go over mounting and docking equipment from Gamber Johnson to mount and dock an MDT mobile data terminal in your vehicle. So what we have here is your standard passenger side vehicle mount, and we're going to go over how to install this. We're going to put it together here on the table, and in a later video we're going to actually install it in the car. You can see how it works. So right here we're just going to go over some of the pieces. We have your base. This is a universal base that does require drilling. Now there are bases that require no drilling, and for most vehicles those are available. So please make sure you look for a no drilling required base first. Second, you're going to have your lower pole that attaches to your base and an upper pole. You're going to need a support brace to keep everything from vibrating. A motion attachment of your choice. We'll go over this a little bit more whenever we get to it. And a dock to dock whatever computer, laptop, tablet you're wanting to use. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into this and start installing all this and show you how it goes together. Now this only takes very simple hand tools to put together, some wrenches, sockets, screwdriver. It's real simple to put together. It can be somewhat confusing whenever people first get it. You have a lot of parts here and people will get it and they're like, how do I put this together? So we're making this video for these people that'll very much simplify everything. So we're going to start with the base here. So a base that doesn't require drilling utilizes the two front seat bolts of the vehicle passenger side seat. You would simply undo the two seat bolts at your passenger side seat, and then the base would slip underneath. You would line it up with the holes and install it from there. A universal base requires drilling into the floorboard, and then you install your bolts through the floor and tighten your bolts from there. I do recommend installing this in the vehicle first and not doing it on a table because it gets very top heavy and it's hard to manage. So try to install it in the vehicle. Try not to put it together on a table first. This is just for demonstration purposes. All right. So you're going to have a series of holes on your base plate, and most of them will have a couple locations. That way you can better utilize where you want the pole to be in the vehicle. And here's a lower pole. We're just going to line that up right there with the base holes. And you got these nuts and bolts here. Let me take that off real quick. All right, let's start putting this together here. Simply line it up. You have a washer and then nut that goes underneath. I'll turn this around here in a second so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Just get this started in here so it stops moving on me. All right, let me flip this over so you guys can see kind of what I'm doing. Keep on going at this. And then you take the required socket and just tighten this down. Now there's no torque specs for this specific application. Just try to get it as tight as possible. One of the great things about Gamber Johnson products is just how sturdy this stuff is. This is all steel construction. You'll never break this stuff. I mean, you'd literally have to take a sledgehammer, and I'm not even sure if that would do it. Probably have to cut into the stuff to destroy it. All right, now you'd have your base and your lower pole all installed, and your next step would be your support brace. Now your support brace is either going to come in long or short. This is a short one right here. It simply comes with a bracket and a pole, and this goes in and out to be able to mount wherever you can best find a location in your vehicle. You can either use a mounting bolt on the base itself, a transmission tunnel bolt, or you can drill a hole and mount it in a custom location. So you're going to take the loop bracket right here and you're going to go ahead and slide it right over your lower pole. And then you have this bolt right here. You can tighten that down. I'm going to leave it loose right now so I can move it around. Whenever you're in the vehicle and it's fully installed, you'd want to tighten that completely. What this does, it greatly reduces vibration throughout the whole system, and that's going to reduce vibration that's making it to your laptop or tablet, and greatly increase the lifespan of using it in a vehicle. So your next step is your upper pole, and this is going to hold your motion attachment and your laptop dock. And what this uses is a friction system. It's got a bolt right here up top that you can loosen or tighten, and that's going to allow this bracket to either expand or contract. That will keep friction inside the lower pole to keep it in place. So we're just going to back that off a little bit so we can get it in there. Go ahead and slide your upper pole into the lower pole and determine a height where you'd want it. So if you're in the vehicle, you already have your base installed, your lower pole, you're going to want to see if you want a little bit higher, a little bit lower, whatever works best for your preference to be able to reach your laptop or tablet. So I'm going to say that that's okay right there. Go ahead and just hand tighten that for a second. And same thing, we're going to tighten that down. All right. So this upper pole uses a clamshell system to install whatever motion attachment you want. You're going to have the lower bracket, which is already welded onto the upper pole, and you're going to have a top bracket that sits right on top and will be held in by 4 bolts. Now some people might make the mistake and install the upper bracket first, but you actually want to take this off and you want to install it on your motion attachment before you install it onto the upper pole. So we're going to go and just slide that over here. So this is your motion attachment. This is going to give you better access to your laptop or tablet within the vehicle. It's going to allow you to swivel 360 degrees, tilt, bring it closer to you, bring it, whatever you need to do, this will do it for you. This one is specifically Gamber Johnson Mongoose motion attachment. This is a premium one. I tried to include this on every package. There are cheaper alternatives with less motion options, but if you really want the best, this is what you need to be going with. So we're going to go ahead and take that top bracket and install it right here on the bottom of your motion attachment. You're going to have a smiley face pattern that's going to line up with the 3 studs. Just go ahead and slide that on. And then we're going to take the washers and nuts and go ahead and install that right on there. All right, see here, see which socket we need. That'll do. And just go ahead and tighten these down. Once again, just as tight as you can get them. All right, now that you have your upper bracket of your upper pole installed on your motion attachment, you can now install it to your upper pole. And this is whenever it gets a little bit cumbersome, a little bit hard to try to install this on a table as it gets top heavy. It's hard to get everything in place. But we're going to go ahead and put these 4 bolts and line them up with these holes. And just get those in there. Go ahead and tighten these down. All right, from this point, you're basically done with your passenger side seat mounting and docking station. All you need from here is the dock you're going to use for your specific laptop or tablet. There's many of them out there for many of the models, Toughbooks, Apple, whatever you need, Gamber Johnson can provide it, and the Rugged store can provide it as well. So we're going to go ahead here. We have a CF31 Gamber Johnson dock, and we're going to install that. right onto the motion attachment. You know what, let's take a second and talk about this motion attachment because it really is pretty nifty. You can see here we got a couple of ranges of motions. You have a handle right here where you can either tighten or loosen to be able to tilt your dock. This can also swivel. Then you have the option to extend this, bring it in closer, and also 360-degree motion directly off the upper pole. And these lock in place underneath using a tooth groove system. This is very sturdy steel down here, so you never have to worry about this getting dislodged in a wreck. Wherever it's locked, it's going to stay where it's locked in at. So let's go ahead and move this back over. All right. So next you have your dock. You're just going to line up the 4 holes on your motion attachment that connects to the dock with the holes on your actual dock. Now, Gamber Johnson has gone over to a universal system to mount to their docks. So any docks you have out there will install onto their equipment. Try not to install it upside down like I almost did. Tighten those down a little bit, keep them in place. All right, there you have it. A completely put together side passenger mounting and docking system from Gamber Johnson. As you can see, this is incredibly sturdy stuff. Our next video, we're going to install this in the vehicle so you can see how everything works, how it's placed in the vehicle, give you an understanding of what kind of room, what kind of motion it's going to have. And we're going to have many more install videos and how-to videos to come. I hope you enjoyed this and come back to the Rugged Store for more. Thank you.